Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Tonight, I just kind of wanted to touch base and talk about a few things. Let's talk about gossip. I read an article. It was some psychological or psychologist or some type of article. It was talking about gossip. And, I have this, catching up about friends is a different thing, but gossiping is, when there's gossip that's happening, I immediately want to leave the area and want nothing to do with people that are doing it. Because gossiping to me is telling me that one, they're not trustworthy, and two, they're really not that intelligent. Because if you share mutual friends or your family members or whatever, you know, that you haven't seen for a while, you're going to ask questions. So have you seen so-and-so? How are they doing? You know, things like that. But gossiping is on a whole nother level. This is people talking things that they've heard that they don't know are true. That they don't have. Majority of the time, people who gossip about other people don't even really have a relationship with the people they're gossiping about. And the reason that they don't have a relationship is because, well, that's why they're gossiping. Because they don't have a relationship and they want to seem like they're important and they know all these people. But gossiping to me is just, it's the lowest form of human interaction. Now, that's not saying that I don't talk with my friends about other friends that we mutually know and things like that. But gossiping is, to me, is just, it doesn't make sense. Now, I can tell you when I was younger, I was surrounded by people who gossiped. It was one of my mother's favorite things. So, yeah, I partook in it when I was younger because I didn't know any better. I always thought it was weird, though. That was curbed real quickly as I got older, because I started to realize that we don't really know what's going on, and just because you heard something from somebody else doesn't necessarily mean it's true, so why are you saying it? So if somebody tells me something about somebody and I know that person personally, I will tell them. I don't believe that because, well, I know that person and that doesn't seem like that person. Or I will tell them I know that person and I really don't care to hear this because I don't necessarily know that it's true. If this person wanted me to know, they would tell me. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the gossip. I talk a lot about coming out of your comfort zone. So last night while I was out working, I do this thing with my nails where I put like the one nail inside the other nail and like, I don't know why. It's just this weird habit thing that I do. And this is part of leading up to what I'm telling you about coming out of your comfort zone. So I'm driving down the road. We're coming to a stoplight. And there's a truck that's over in 2 lanes, or he's actually right in the lane next to me because there were 3 lanes on our side. And I'm coming up and he's slowing down. And I can see that he's got his hand out the window and he's doing it. And I'm like, hey, that's my person. And he pulls over into the farther lane. So we're a lane apart. And I pull over and I look over at him. And he looks at me and smiles. So I kind of look away. And normally I would have been like, nah, I'm not even acknowledging. And I thought, you know what, screw this. So I look back over at him. He looks at me. And he looks really young. So I roll down my window. And I said, hey, how old are you? And he says, I'm 41. And I said, oh, well, that kind of blows what I was going to say out of the water. He's like, well, I'm sorry that I'm not young enough for you. I said, no. By all means. I said, that's not what I'm saying. I was going to tell you that I'm too old for you. He goes, how old are you? And I said, I'm 50. He goes, oh, so we're right in the ballpark. And I said, yeah. He goes, my name's Sean. What's yours? And I said, my name, Danielle. And he says, give me your number. I'll give you a call or text you. So I yelled my number out to this total stranger last night. Now, whether he calls or texts me, I don't care. It was not even about that. I thought when I started the conversation that I was going to be shooting this person down because he was young. He looked young until he smiled, and then I could see that he was a little older. Anyways, the point was, right after it happened, I felt this this overwhelming excitement because I stepped out of my comfort zone. Normally, I would just ignore it and keep moving along. But I thought, you know what? No, let's just try it. I'm bored out here half the time driving anyways, so let's add some excitement to it. So then I called my girl Jen, and I'm telling her all about it. And she's like, all right, go. She's like, all right, good for you getting out of your comfort zone. She goes, but you can't have anything to do with him. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, his name's Sean. You don't have anything to do with Sean's or John's. I started laughing. I'm like, okay. So getting out of your comfort zone kind of makes you feel alive. And once that happened, the rest of the night went great. Today I had to go, I had a slow leak in one of my tires, so I had to go get the tire taken care of. And as I was wandering around the store waiting for my tire to get to get fixed, I had went outside to have a cigarette. When I came back in, I came in through the lawn and garden, and they've got all their Christmas stuff set up at Walmart right now. And they had this giant Grinch that was like my size dressed in a Santa outfit. Well, I saw it when I walked in, but I didn't think much of it. But as I passed it, it started talking and dancing, and I like jumped. And some lady that was over down the other aisle, she starts laughing and looks at me and she says, it scared me too the other day when I first saw it. And her and I had this long, beautiful conversation of just life and everything. And I was like, this is it. This is the life that I've been looking for, is being able to be out of my comfort zone and interact with people that are just fun. There doesn't have to be anything more than our conversation in the store or our conversation at the stoplight. It's just about the fun of those moments. And that's what I'm talking about. When you find your true authentic self and you learn to love yourself, these experiences tend to come more and more in odd random places. And people just talk to you. Total strangers just talk to you. People smile and say hi, and you smile back and you say hi. And I used to be the one that always smiled and said hi to people, and now they're doing it to me. So once you get to your true authentic self and loving yourself, the world opens up. That doesn't mean that you stop growing. There's so much that we don't know, and I don't know that we will ever stop growing. I think the whole purpose of us here on Earth is for us to grow, and for us to learn about love and kindness and compassion. And that's the whole purpose of why I started this channel. I want to keep you updated that I have been working on the book. I've kind of changed a little bit of how I'm going about it, because I kind of had my favorite word is epiphany. I don't know why, but I just like the word. Kind of had an epiphany the other night when I was out doing delivery, which is when most of my epiphanies happen. You know, you're driving down the road, you're picking up food from the restaurants, talking to some of the workers, you're delivering them. Majority of the time you do not talk to the customers, you just leave it at their door and walk away. So there's not a huge ton of human interaction. It's not like you have a coworker that you can go hang out with in the break room and chat with or whatever, or you can hang out, at each other's desks or whatever. You don't have that when you're a delivery driver. So you are quite on your own a lot. So you think a lot. You get bored too sometimes. That's why you beg some of your friends, come with me. I don't want to be alone. Or there's a group of us that, there's actually a group of us that like to text back and forth. And we do the text. It's okay, buddy. We like to do the text to talk. So at that point, some of the texts get a little crazy because text to talk doesn't always work well and understand what you're trying to say. So it actually kind of breaks up the monotony of going where you're going, it's okay, buddy. So I'm going to end this video here with that because I've got a crazy dog here that thinks that we need to go outside and go to bed. That's his signal that it's time. So that's what we're going to do. I just wanted to touch base with you for a little bit, let you know what was going on. So get outside of your comfort zones and stay away from the gossipers. Anyways, have a great night, guys. Love ya.